Who is Ray Bradbury? Ray Douglas Bradbury, born on August 22, 1920 and died on June 5, 2012, was an American author and screenwriter. One of the most celebrated 20th-century American writers, he worked in a variety of genres, including fantasy, science fiction, horror, mystery, and realistic fiction. Bradbury is best known for his novel Fahrenheit 451, 1953, and his short story collections The Martian Chronicles, 1950, The Illustrated Man, 1951, The Veldt, and The October Country, 1955. Other notable works include the coming-of-age novel Dandelion Wine, 1957, the dark fantasy Something Wicked This Way Comes, 1962, and the fictionalized memoir Green Shadows, White Whale, 1992. He also wrote and consulted on screenplays and television scripts, including Moby Dick and It Came from Outer Space. Many of his works were adapted into television and film productions as well as comic books. Bradbury also wrote poetry which has been published in several collections, such as They Have Not Seen the Stars, 2001. The New York Times called Bradbury an author whose fanciful imagination, poetic prose, and mature understanding of human character have won him an international reputation, and the writer most responsible for bringing modern science fiction into the literary mainstream. Top 50 Quotes by Ray Bradbury. You don't have to burn books to destroy culture. Just get people to stop reading them. You must stay drunk on writing so reality cannot destroy you. I have never listened to anyone who criticized my taste in space travel, sideshows or gorillas. When this occurs, I pack up my dinosaurs and leave the room. Why is it, he said, one time, at the subway entrance, I feel I've known you so many years. Because I like you, she said, and I don't want anything from you. We are cups, constantly and quietly being filled. The trick is knowing how to tip ourselves over and let the beautiful stuff out. Stuff your eyes with wonder, he said, live as if you drop dead in 10 seconds. See the world. It's more fantastic than any dream made or paid for in factories. Everyone must leave something behind when he dies, my grandfather said. A child or a book or a painting or a house or a wall built or a pair of shoes made. Or a garden planted. Something your hand touched some way so your soul has somewhere to go when you die. And when people look at that tree or that flower you planted, you're there. It doesn't matter what you do, he said, so long as you change something from the way it was before you touched it into something that's like you after you take your hands away. The difference between the man who just cuts lawns and a real gardener is in the touching, he said. The lawn cutter might just as well not have been there at all. The gardener will be there a lifetime. You must write every single day of your life. You must lurk in libraries and climb the stacks like ladders to sniff books like perfumes and wear books like hats upon your crazy heads. May you be in love every day for the next 20,000 days. And out of that love, remake a world. We need not to be let alone. We need to be really bothered once in a while. How long is it since you were really bothered? About something important, about something real? There is more than one way to burn a book. And the world is full of people running about with lit matches. There must be something in books, something we can't imagine, to make a woman stay in a burning house. There must be something there. You don't stay for nothing. If we listened to our intellect, we'd never have a love affair. We'd never have a friendship. We'd never go in business because we'd be cynical. It's gonna go wrong. Or, she's going to hurt me. Or, I've had a couple of bad love affairs, so therefore. Well, that's nonsense. You're going to miss life. You've got to jump off the cliff all the time and build your wings on the way down. Some people turn sad awfully young. No special reason, it seems, but they seem almost to be born that way. They bruise easier, tire faster, cry quicker, remember longer and, as I say, get sadder younger than anyone else in the world. I know, for I'm one of them. If you hide your ignorance, no one will hit you and you'll never learn. If you want to write, if you want to create, you must be the most sublime fool that God ever turned out and sent rambling. You must write every single day of your life. You must read dreadful dumb books and glorious books, and let them wrestle in beautiful fights inside your head, vulgar one moment, brilliant the next. You must lurk in libraries and climb the stacks like ladders to sniff books like perfumes and wear books like hats upon your crazy heads. I wish you a wrestling match with your creative muse that will last a lifetime. I wish craziness and foolishness and madness upon you. May you live with hysteria, and out of it make fine stories, science fiction or otherwise. Which finally means, may you be in love every day for the next 20,000 days. And out of that love, remake a world. We cannot tell the precise moment when friendship is formed. As in filling a vessel drop by drop, there is at last a drop which makes it run over. So in a series of kindnesses there is at last one which makes the heart run over. Don't ask for guarantees. And don't look to be saved in any one thing, person, machine, or library. Do your own bit of saving, and if you drown, at least die knowing you were heading for shore. Learning to let go should be learned before learning to get. Life should be touched, not strangled. You've got to relax, let it happen at times, and at others move forward with it. The magic is only in what books say, how they stitched the patches of the universe together into one garment for us. With school turning out more runners, jumpers, racers, tinkerers, grabbers, snatchers, flyers, and swimmers instead of examiners, critics, knowers, and imaginative creators, the word intellectual, of course, became the swear word it deserved to be. I'm 17 and I'm crazy. My uncle says the two always go together. When people ask your age, he said, always say 17 and insane. The good writers touch life often. The mediocre ones run a quick hand over her. The bad ones rape her and leave her for the flies. But you can't make people listen. They have to come round in their own time, wondering what happened and why the world blew up around them. It can't last. We are an impossibility in an impossible universe. Don't think. Thinking is the enemy of creativity. It's self-conscious, and anything self-conscious is lousy. You can't try to do things. You simply must do things. I still love books. Nothing a computer can do can compare to a book. You can't really put a book on the internet. 3 companies have offered to put books by me on the net, and I said, if you can make something that has a nice jacket, nice paper with that nice smell, then we'll talk. All the computer can give you is a manuscript. People don't want to read manuscripts. They want to read books. Books smell good. They look good. You can press it to your bosom. You can carry it in your pocket. And when he died, I suddenly realized I wasn't crying for him at all, but for the things he did. I cried because he would never do them again. He would never carve another piece of wood or help us raise doves and pigeons in the backyard or play the violin the way he did, or tell us jokes the way he did. He was part of us, and when he died, all the actions stopped dead and there was no one to do them the way he did. He was individual. He was an important man. I've never gotten over his death. Often I think what wonderful carvings never came to birth because he died. How many jokes are missing from the world, and how many homing pigeons untouched by his hands. He shaped the world. He did things to the world. The world was bankrupted of 10 million fine actions the night he passed on. I don't believe in colleges and universities. I believe in libraries because most students don't have any money. When I graduated from high school, it was during the Depression and we had no money. I couldn't go to college, so I went to the library 3 days a week for 10 years. The books are to remind us what asses and fool we are. They're Caesar's Praetorian Guard, whispering as the parade roars down the avenue, remember, Caesar, thou art mortal. Most of us can't rush around, talking to everyone, know all the cities of the world. We haven't time, money, or that many friends. The things you're looking for, Montag, are in the world, but the only way the average chap will ever see 99% of them is in a book. Don't ask for guarantees, and don't look to be saved in any one thing, person, machine, or library. Do your own bit of saving, and if you drown, at least die knowing you were headed for shore. It was a pleasure to burn. Your intuition knows what to write, so get out of the way. A book is a loaded gun in the house next door. Who knows who might be the target of the well-read man? Insanity is relative. It depends on who has who locked in what cage. If you don't want a man unhappy politically, don't give him 2 sides to a question to worry him. Give him one. Better yet, give him none. Let him forget there is such a thing as war. If the government is inefficient, top-heavy, and tax-mad, better it be all those than that people worry over it. Peace, Montag. Give the people contests they win by remembering the words to more popular songs or the names of state capitals or how much corn Iowa grew last year. Cram them full of non-combustible data. Chock them so damned full of facts. They feel stuffed, but absolutely brilliant with information. Then they'll feel their thinking, they'll get a sense of motion without moving. And they'll be happy, because facts of that sort don't change. A good night's sleep, or a 10-minute ball, or a pint of chocolate ice cream, or all three together, is good medicine. Bees do have a smell, you know, and if they don't they should, for their feet are dusted with spices from a million flowers. I don't talk things, sir. I talk the meaning of things. Oh God, the terrible tyranny of the majority. We all have our harps to play. And it's up to you to know with which ear you'll listen. There's no use going to school unless your final destination is the library. Love. Fall in love and stay in love. Write only what you love, and love what you write. The word is love. You have to get up in the morning and write something you love, something to live for. It doesn't matter what you do. So long as you change something from the way it was before you touched it into something that's like you after you take your hands away. See the world. It's more fantastic than any dream made or paid for in factories. Ask for no guarantees, ask for no security. Anything you dream is fiction, and anything you accomplish is science. The whole history of mankind is nothing but science fiction. Quote, first you jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down. Without libraries, what have we? We have no past and no future. That's the good part of dying. When you've nothing to lose, you run any risk you want. Nobody listens anymore. I can't talk to the walls because they're yelling at me. I can't talk to my wife. She listens to the walls. I just want someone to hear what I have to say. And maybe if I talk long enough it'll make sense. And I want you to teach me to understand what I read. I'll hold on to the world tight someday. I've got one finger on it now. That's a beginning. You have to know how to accept rejection and reject acceptance. We Earth men have a talent for ruining big, beautiful things.